series of rigid transformations or a sequence of rigid transformations. And just really quick, a series, like think about a movie series or a TV series, is just more than one, right? So Marvel movies, that's a series or a sequence of movies. It's more than one movie. Same with Psych, that's my favorite show. It's more than one episode, so it's a movie series. So series or a sequence is more than one. So we're gonna have more than one transformation happening. So just some things to remember. We've talked about translations, reflections, and rotations. And when we translate, it's by a vector. It's like a certain distance and direction. So maybe right 2, up 5. When we reflect over a line. So I would reflect over the y-axis or x equals 2. We need a line. And then when we rotate around a point and a certain number of degrees. So we don't just say we rotated. We say we rotated around the origin 90 degrees clockwise. So we need that description in there as well. So we're going to skip this. This is what we did in class. But a sequence of rigid motions or a series of rigid transformations is when we perform multiple rigid motions in a row to get one shape on top of another. So let's say I rotated here and then I reflected multiple moves to get on top. So let me show an example. And the most important part about these is you want to draw the in-between step because it's really hard to just try to picture it in your head without drawing that in-between step. And there's often a lot of right answers, so you could do more than one thing. So drawing that in-between step is super important. So I want to go from ABC onto DEF. So I look at it, and right now, like, it's facing to the right, and now it's facing, like, up and down if I look at this side. So it's definitely spinning. So I'm going to start with a 90-degree spin, and let's go rotate 90 degrees. Let's just go, that is counterclockwise. So around the origin is my center of rotation. So just good to describe all that. And let's draw where this actually would go. So right now, point A is at 2, 1. So remember, we just switch it. It becomes 1, 2, and then negative 1, 2 because we're going to this quadrant. So this is 5, 1. So it's going to become 1, 5, 1, 5, but negative 1 because we're in quadrant 2. And then 5, 3. We'll switch the 5 and the 3, make it 3, 5, 3, 5 in this quadrant. So we just rotated that triangle 90 degrees. Yep, it definitely spun to there. Good, so we got the first step. Now we want to get this triangle. So this is C prime, B prime, and A prime. We want to get it on F. C's going to go on top of F, right? A's going to go on top of D. So we want to just, looks like I'm just sliding it all this way. So we're going to translate it. So this is definitely next, translate. And we're going to go left 2, down 2. And that's it. We got a series of transformations there to get the shape on top of the other shape. You could also go capital T, right? And then left 2, down 2. There's a couple different ways to write it, but you could write it in a full sentence as well. So that's all you got to do. But the big thing here that I did was I drew that in-between step. Because if I said rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise and didn't draw it, how am I going to know how far to translate it or what to do next? So definitely draw the in-between steps. So some practice problems. This one's just multiple choice. So like, how did I get from here? This is the next shape because there's one tick mark, and then how do we get to here? And this one has 2 tick marks. So that's the last shape. So just make sure you're seeing those tick marks. This one doesn't have it, so you got to draw the in-between step. And then the cool down, right? Which multiple choice option would work to map A, B, C, D onto G, L, K, J, I, H. Well, a lot of letters.